Everybody, I want to talk about why trading is so difficult. Trading is so difficult because you do all this work and you end up losing money. So you do all this work not to get paid for years. You do all this work to cause mental frustration. You do all this work and you put in so much that you're like, fuck, is it even worth it? I mean, it's a weird career, but it's actually more common to many other careers. A doctor had to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars and time to be a doctor. A trader starts a career as soon as they put money in their brokerage. So as a trader, you're pretty much kind of you're starting your career and education at the same time. The right way to do is probably like buying a course from a reputable person and having your side job and doing that together. Getting your education, working your other job, and then when you think you're kind of ready, put some of your money into the trading career. But the real education comes when you put in the real money, when you start risking the real money. That's when your real education starts. So your education starts with your training. And for doctors, they get a bunch of training during their education. So by the time they become a doctor, they're pretty good, I would say. I don't know, I could be wrong. But trading, that's why it's difficult, because you could, in a job, you could do something wrong and you still get paid. In the stocks, if you do something wrong, well, you lose money. You could lose all of it. What's a job where you lose money? A business, owning a business puts you at risk of losing money if you're not smart about it. So that's the bad thing about trading, is that mistakes cost you. Whereas in a job, mistakes, it's okay. You could get fired, but you could just get another job. You don't lose your income. They don't take money out of your savings account. Yeah. So that's why trading is difficult, unless I wrote some other reasons. Another reason, and I forgot to mention, is because you start and you learn as you go. So if you didn't buy a course, you have no idea what you're doing. Every mistake is a lesson. But even with the course, you're still going to make mistakes, because in order to learn the stock market, you have to experience the stock market. This is an simplification example. Riding a bike, you can read all about riding a bike, but it comes down to you getting on the bike and falling down that you actually learn. And stocks is obviously much longer, because there's so many different stocks, different price ranges, different share sizes, different floats, so many different dynamics and aspects of the stock market that you need to learn with time, with experience, and just diving into it. On top of that, you also have a personality. So the trading style is different for everybody. Even if you want to trade like somebody, it's probably not for you. Maybe you're a shorter term or longer term trader. That's totally up to your personality. A lot of people say this, and I think it is true. I'm more like short term scalper. Well, trying to develop into that. It's possible you pick one type of trading style, and then you can evolve into something different or acquire many different styles over time. Only time will tell. You also don't have a boss over you telling you what to do, when to clock out, when to clock in, how many hours you're putting in. So nobody's paying you, and you're just doing all this work not knowing if it's going to pay off at the end. But just know that everything you're doing is making you better. With the lack of a boss or a supervisor, you're left to your own devices in developing your own trading style, your own plan, your own routine, which I think is one of the most important aspects when starting to trade is developing a routine that you can repeat every single day, so that you eventually catch the stocks that are moving and you can jump into them. Just very quickly, for me, my routine is after the stock market closes, after 1 p.m., I write the stocks that I want to watch for the next day. I make sure I go to sleep before 9:30 p.m. I wake up at 5:30, 5:40 in the morning, and I start looking at my watch list, seeing if I still like them. And then I look at other sources like Benzinga. I look at other traders, what they're looking at, and then from Benzinga I see the news feed, and then I compare the ones I have versus the ones others have and the news, and I choose the best one out of all of them, and I just trade. I do the plan of doing 4 contracts or 3 contracts, selling 3 or 2, and sticking with 1. That's something I'm still working on. Right now it's only been like 1 contract, but eventually I'll get there. And just going from there and then repeating. Market closes, I look at earnings. Actually, I forgot to mention that I look at the earnings if they're going to open before or after market, so I can prepare for that as well. If y'all want an in-depth little explanation, I could do that as well. Just leave in the comments. Another reason is psychology, and this is probably the biggest one actually. I don't know why I'm not emphasizing this, but psychology is one of the most important. A great book for that is this book called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas, right here. This is not the title, this is the title right here, Trading in the Zone. Great book. I took lots of notes. It's already falling apart. And then I'm currently reading this book on technical analysis using multiple time frames. It's decent so far. I'm barely on page 32. I've gone over this one many times. I still probably will go into it, but it has helped me execute trades, and I'm not afraid to place a trade. With this technical analysis using multiple time frames, it's going to help me find the technicals, find the patterns that will let me get a better edge, and I can choose the right ones instead of the bad ones. The biggest takeaways from the psychology book, the Trading in the Zone, is probably trading with a plan, trading with a positive attitude, trading without fear. And he goes through ways of not trading without fear. For example, if you're scared of a loss, you gotta be aware that you can't expect the market to make you a winner. If you're scared of turning a winner into a loser, you should take some off the table. If you're scared of being wrong, you can't expect the market to make you right. And I think there's like another one and another, like 4 other types of list of things that he talks about, which are really good. This technical analysis one, still gotta go into it's more knowledge, but psychology will help you put the analysis one together and implement it. So you do have to accept full responsibility of everything, and you can't point fingers. You're the full responsible. You lose the money, it's your fault. It's up to you, but you got to accept that you're not ready, and that you got to keep growing as a trader when you do lose money. Now let's go back to what I was saying. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It doesn't pay off right away. You gotta wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I don't know, however long it takes, however long you can stick with it until you get good. Some people give up. A lot of people just give up, and that creates the statistic that almost all traders fail, and that's why it's so difficult. But it's more like people want the money so urgently that they what, I'm just gonna get a job. Yeah, fuck this, I'm gonna get a job. But the way to go about it is hey, I'm gonna get good at this until I get good at it. I'm gonna keep at it. I'll lose money, but every time I lose money, I learn more. I learn something. I get better. And that's my attitude. You know, I lose money every week. Not a lot of money. Like, I only risking, like, you know, hopefully at times I hope to risk less than 100 a week and stuff like that. You know, I make some, I lose some, but every time I'm learning something new. I'm learning something about myself. I'm learning something about the markets, but it's mostly more important about what I'm learning about myself, and that's why I like it. It's rewarding in that sense, and it kind of detaches me from like needing money and more gaining the skill. That's pretty much what I have for today, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.